This is giving men writing women. Put this on the men writing women subreddit. Hello, and welcome back to Writing Log number 3. I'm your host, Jay. This is Writing with Jay. You can call me Jay. That's like the first 3 letters of my name. I never said my name on the internet. I'm not telling. Ooh, secret. But today, we're unveiling some of my secrets. Because I mentioned in Writing Log number 2 that the story that I'm writing has been through a lot of different rewrites, different versions. And today, I am brave enough to come in here and share the oldest version of it with you, okay? This is terrifying for me because I don't know what I'm about to experience. I don't know what I'm about to say. I have vague recollections of the things that I wrote and the ways that it's different from the story now, but I don't know what I wrote. Context for those of you who may not know, I am currently writing a novel, but to take the pressure off of writing a novel, I am writing a fan fiction that can be very easily changed in the end by just switching the characters' names so that I can just pretend like I'm writing a silly, goofy fan fiction, but I'm really writing a novel. So it takes the pressure off for me and it makes this seem more doable, more manageable, more demure. And that's why we're doing this. We're going to dive deep in to my first draft. I'm a little spooked, not gonna lie, a little spooked about this. So, I'm a discovery writer. I've said this before. If you don't know what that means, it means that I tend to not follow outlines. I might make an outline and completely discard it, or I might not make an outline at all and just jump right in and write and see where I go. And that has led to me revising the story multiple times because I've discovered that it sucked. I've discovered that it sucked major ass. And today I'm going to read you part of the first revision. So, looking here, we're in Scrivener. I wrote this in Scrivener. If you don't know what Scrivener is, okay, it's basically an app that's designed for writing a story, a manuscript of any kind. You can create all these different goofy little folders, and you can put more folders in the folders, and you can have a folder for your characters, and a folder for your outline, and a folder inside your outline folder that outlines just one building inside the city. But the city is also a folder. If that's something that works for you, if you like making folders and putting all these random little details in your random little folders, go for it. Okay, I love a good folder. My computer it's foldered, all right? There's a folder for everything. There's a folder that's specific job is just to hold folders. I'd spent too much time fucking around with the folders than actually writing anything, and so that's why I stopped using Scrivener and I just start using Google Docs, one big document with everything in it. Tried and true method. Anyway, let's just jump into it. So you'll see here that there's the draft, and under that there's 5 different folders. There's 2 Act 4s. Don't ask me why I did that. I don't know. It's probably a typo, and I'm not going to change it because that would be inauthentic. So this draft is my second major rewrite. Down at the bottom, underneath the trash and the outline, is my old versions. And inside this folder, there are all of the old chapters, the oldest chapters that ever did old. And I wrote apparently 16 chapters, but chapter 16 is just completely blank, so I wrote 15 chapters. I did keep the original prologue, so my prologue, it's the same thing. It's Girly Pop. She's falling off a waterfall. That's how the story starts. That's how the story has always started. She is being pushed off a waterfall. And then the first part of the story is supposed to be like how she got there, This is my original chapter 1 shock value. It's a peaceful night until the babysitter knocks at the door. I'm watching the news while my son plays with his trucks. The little noises he makes while crashing them together brings a smile to my lips, one that would soon fade. I go to get the door when I hear the knock. I'm not expecting any visitors, so I have my guard up. Before opening the door, I grab the gun from the side table. You can never be too careful. What? Okay. I stare at her in shock as she puts her hand on the top of the gun to lower it, unafraid, while I fight to stop from shaking. I'm your babysitter tonight, she says oh so casually. It's not time yet, I say in Chinese. It is, she replies, also in Chinese. I feel like that's redundant. I feel like I could delete the also in Chinese. I think you got the point. Hey guys, if you didn't know, this whole conversation, also in Chinese. It is, she replies, also in Chinese. She steps right past me and enters my home. Something's come up. I'm furious, but I don't want Murphy to be alarmed. I close the door and put the gun away before my son can see it, mostly because I know I'm powerless to stop this. I was promised a year, I reminded her. Chen Na Wei looks around my home, taking in the room and all of my decorations. Only one room over, my son is playing with his toys. 1 minute ago, I was enjoying my evening. Girl, we know. Girl, that's redundant. That's redundant. We know your son is playing with his toys. We know you were enjoying your evening. We get it. Thanks for wasting my time. I need you to find someone for me, Chen says. She pulls a file from the inside of her full body coat. Bring him to the address I've given you. I need him breathing. Did the rest of your team call in sick? I ask, ignoring the file. It's barely been 5 months. I'm not asking you to kill anyone, Jessica, she replies coolly. Your particular talents are required here. Can't send one of my strong men to do a delicate job. She stares me down, and I meet her eyes with my own. This is not how I wanted my night to go. We know! Girl, we know this is not how you wanted your night to go. How many times are you gonna say it? I reluctantly take the file from her hand. She smiles an icy smile, one that perfectly matches her silver hair. Before I can open the file, Murphy walks in. He wants to know who Mommy's talking to. I swallow the lump in my throat and explain that this is Miss China, his babysitter. Closing the file, I look back up at the horrible woman standing inside my house. If you touch even a hair on his head, I'll spare you from finishing that sentence, she interrupts. Rude, but at least I don't have to make her another empty threat. We've had this conversation before, or have you forgotten? No, she hasn't forgotten. The reader just didn't know. I think it's your boss who's forgotten, I say, slightly raising my voice. I'm sick of repeating myself, but I'm furious the Triad has gone back on our deal. I'm on vacation. This will be his first warning, the woman explains, ignoring me yet again, but that's for the strong man to deal with. All you need to do is make the delivery. She reaches once again into her coat pocket. And you'll be needing this, she adds, passing a vial to me. I know this poison well. I don't want to read this anymore. I think we're done. I think we've heard enough. That's the end of the video, guys. That was crazy. That was a lot. That really took a lot out of me. I hope that my writing is not like this anymore. She gets to this fucking bar. She confronts Bob, and then she poisons him and puts him in the back of that black car and then drives him to the drop-off location. Okay, so that's where we're gonna start. 20 minutes later, I arrive at the warehouse. Parking outside, I'm greeted by a familiar face, Bruce, a fellow Triad member forced to work for them under duress. Slings Bob over his shoulder like a sack of flour. I hold open the door to the warehouse for him. Inside, we bind him to a chair. I finish up the ties while Bruce sharpens a knife. He's standing next to a table full of torture weapons. He treats them with the same care a musician has for his instruments. Did anyone see you? Bruce asks me. I secure the final tie and stand up. Are you really asking me that? I ask him. Are you really asking me that? I ask. Girl, change ask to question. Are you really asking that? I question. Would be better. Now, obviously, that's not my best work. Okay, that's first draft number 1. That's my very first try. Unfortunately, the whole time I was reading it, I was thinking of ways like I could better reword the sentences. There were certain paragraphs that were like a lot of basic sentences. Let's just really quick palate cleanser. Here's a silly goofy chapter that I wrote with a character that doesn't exist anymore. Everyone say hi to Liz and then say bye to Liz because she was axed. So let me get this straight, Liz says as we sit at the food court of the Starling City Mall, eating turkey and cheese subs with too many toppings. You're going to a fancy dinner as the CFO's date, and then 10 days later, you're hopping on a private jet with the CEO for a week-long business trip. Are you trying to sleep with the entire top floor? She's so quirky. She was so quirky. I replaced her. I finished chewing before replying. I'm not interested in Vincent Tyrell. Her eyes light up with false realization. Shut up, she exclaims. You're using Merlin's best friend to make him jealous? That's such a great move. Risky, but it can pay off. Who even the fuck is Liz, bro? What is she? Risky, but it can pay off. That's how she is in my head. She's flipping. She's a Disney Channel original character. That's not what I'm doing, I insist. I just needed a date and he happened to ask. It's not some sort of elaborate scheme to sleep with my boss. The way that it is, though. Liz sighs. Ugh, Jess, when are you going to stop lying? When are you going to stop making it so easy, I wonder? I can't admit to something I'm not trying to do. She puts her hands on the table, one on each side of her sandwich, and stares at me like she's trying to shoot lasers from her eyes. If we were in a courtroom right now, and you swore to tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth, would you still deny that you want to have sex with Malcolm Merlin? We're not in a courtroom, I point out. Use your imagination. Okay, I imagine I would take the judge's gavel and smack her over the head with it. I was imagining this as more of a cross-examination where I'm the prosecutor, not the judge, and I would smack you no matter what role you put yourself in. And the jury would find you totally guilty after that, she says. I rest my case. Okay, how about we imagine I'm your therapist, I pose, and you're telling me all these wild stories about how you think your friend wants to sleep with her boss. Where's this going? She asked. As your therapist, I would tell you that I think you're projecting your own fantasies onto your friend and jumping to the most insane conclusions. Then I would start seeing a new therapist. Is there anything I could say that would convince you to believe me? She shakes her head. No. I sigh. Okay, then can we just put this topic to rest and continue shopping? I still need to find a gold pair of shoes to go with that gorgeous dress. She spits out the bite of food she just took. Gold shoes? She asks, appalled. With a salmon-colored dress? Absolutely not. You gotta go with black or silver. This is giving men writing women. Put this on the men writing women. Gold shoes with a salmon-colored dress. That's fantastic. Honestly, okay, I'm kind of upset that I had to cut that. I kind of miss Liz, okay? She added something. She added a little bit of flavor to the story. Gotta miss her. The conversation stays on clothes and accessories for the rest of the afternoon, but she still takes every opportunity to make comments like, this top is sure to bring a powerful man to his knees, especially if you drop something and then bend down slowly to get it. Or my personal favorite, this blazer is sure to cover up that scar on your arm, but it can't cover up your attraction to your boss. Liz was cooking, okay? Maybe I cooked a little bit with Liz. It was kind of, I'm gonna be so honest with you, it was very upsetting to have to cut Liz from the narrative entirely, but, I think it's for the best. This is a Liz appreciation post. I miss my OC Liz. Gone but never forgotten. I'm not a fashion girly, okay? If you are a fashion girly, please let me know in the comments if it's truly a crime against fashion to wear gold shoes with a salmon-colored dress. Like, I feel like I need to know. I fear that's very important and very relevant information for everyone. I'm gonna continue doing this because this was a blast. Actually, this was way funnier when we skip over the bits where I try to like be a serious dramatic writer and we get to the Liz parts. I think that this is Liz is truly where I shine. Dialogue is what I think I'm good at. Okay, I do believe that I do think that I am cooking when I write dialogue, especially when it comes to like comic relief characters. Because I am a very funny person. And that is because I was bullied as a child. Yes, thank you. Thank you for noticing. Thanks for joining me. Can't wait to have you again for writing log 4. Bye!